Hi, Ashley here with HeartHookHome.com, and today we are going to learn how to crochet the mini bean stitch. This stitch is so fun to make. It's got a great texture to it, nice squishy feel to it, and it's a lot easier than it looks. So let's grab our hook and get started. To crochet the mini bean stitch, you want to start with an odd number of chains. So this here is 11 chains. The very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to find the third chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3. I like to go into the back bar, so I'm going to rotate it a little bit. And in this back bar right here, I'm going to pull up a loop. And now before doing anything else, I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull up a loop in that same chain. So now I've pulled up a loop and then I yarned over and pulled up another loop. So I should have 4 loops total on my hook. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops. Then I'm going to chain 1 to close the stitch. Now I'm going to skip the next chain, and in the next I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to insert my hook and pull up a loop. And then I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop in that same chain space, or that same chain. Right there. So I've got my 4. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 4 and then chain 1 to close the stitch. We're going to skip the next chain, and in the next we're going to do that, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull up a loop in the same spot. Yarn over, pull through all 4, and then chain 1 to close the stitch. We're going to do this all the way to the end, and we should end with a mini bean in the last chain. So skip 1, the next one we pull it up, yarn over, and pull it up. Yarn over, pull through all 4, and chain 1 to close it. In the last one we're going to do that again. And then chain 1 to close it. Let me pull my yarn, sorry. Chain 1 to close it. And then in order to start a new row, we're going to chain 1 again. So it looks like we have 2 in a row here. We're going to turn, and now we're going to go into the side of the mini beans from the previous row. So from here on out, this row right here is what we're going to be doing over and over and over again. So this is the side of that mini bean. I don't like to go into the actual hole in between them. I like to go into the side of that mini bean itself. So right here, we're going to pull up that loop, and we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop in the same spot. When I've got my 4 loops on my hook, I'm going to yarn over and pull through all of them and chain 1 to close that stitch. And this is all we're going to do the entire way. So now I'm going to go into the next. I'm going to go into the side of the top, right, of that mini bean from the previous row, and we're just going to continue pulling up all of these loops all the way across the row. Chain 1 to close the stitch, go into this next side, pull up that loop, yarn over, same stitch, if I can get it. There we go. Pull my yarn. Yarn over, pull through all 4, and then chain 1 to close it. All the way across. And your mini bean stitch count, however many beans you had on that first row, that's how many you should have always. So if you find yourself losing mini beans, then make sure that you're going into this last stitch like I'm about to do. So here's the side of this first mini bean that we made. So now I'm going to place my last one of this row in the top of this guy. Chain 1 to close it, so that's the end of that row. Now if I wanted to start a new row, I have to chain 1 more to start that row and turn, and then go across, starting in the side of this guy right here. And that's it. That's all there is to the mini bean stitch. So the width of each mini bean is 2 chains if you're trying to figure out how wide or how many beans you're going to have. So 2 chains equals 1 mini bean. And always make sure that you're chaining 1 at the end to close that stitch. So that is all there is to the mini bean. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed crocheting with me today, and I look forward to crocheting with you more soon. Thanks for watching.